This is the iRadio DM-4R, also known as KD1MU DM-4R, and the Radtel RT-4D. I wasn't going to review this radio, but when someone calls me a liar when I talk about it, I take issue with that. I'll have more about that in a bit. But first, let me talk about the radio. It's not a terrible DMR radio, but it doesn't work the way I expect a DMR radio to work. You might love it. Just learn about its features and limitations and decide for yourself. First, let me sing some of its praises. Some people will love the LCD display. Turn off the backlight and it should be easier to read in sunlight than a full-color display. It is spectrally clean. I'll put up some screenshots from my Tiny SA Ultra. Another pro is that it's the smallest DMR radio I have, and I happen to like small radios. There is a USB-C port on the radio, not the battery. It's not programmable via USB-C, but it has USB-C charging. I find it odd that while charging, the charging LED stays orange and never turns green. I can charge it fully in the charging cradle, switch it over to USB-C charging, and it stays orange no matter how long I wait. No big deal. Finally, you can now download the programming software for this radio. You don't need to buy one to get the software. Links are in the description. Now to the cons. Personally, I like to organize my talk groups into zones. I have one zone for Brandmeister, another zone for TGIF, and I like to switch between the zones using the radio. I can't do that with this radio. If there's a way, I haven't found it. Maybe you're okay with that? I'm not. If I put the radio into zone mode, it only lets me step through the channels in that one zone. I can't switch zones. I'm stuck in the zone I specified in zone mode. The way I get around this limitation is to create a zone that contains all of my talk group channels, including those from Brandmeister and TGIF. For example, here's the digital zone I created for all the talk group channels. Then I put the radio in zone mode and specify that range A will be zone 4, the zone with all of the channels. Then I set the B range to zone 3, which contains all the analog channels. So now I have all the digital talk groups in range A and all the analog channels in range B. Oh, and one other weird thing about the software is you can't resize the window. It's no big deal, but I just found that to be odd. Okay, now let's address the accusations of lying. I bought this radio for $32 with free shipping. I believe iRadio didn't mean to advertise it as free shipping, so they told me there was a logistics problem and that I had to cancel the order and request a refund. I was very busy at the time and didn't even notice the messages on Alibaba, so I didn't cancel the order. By the time I went to the messages, they told me the logistics were solved and the radio was on its way. Here's what they sent to KD1MU to prove I paid $51 for the radio and that I was lying about the cost. Now, $51 would be the $32 cost of the radio plus $19 for shipping, so that makes sense. But I didn't pay for shipping because it was advertised as free shipping when I bought it. So here's how I believe iRadio solved the logistics. You can see they fulfilled the order as free shipping, but they put it in their books as a shipping discount. And voila, logistics are solved. Just to hammer the point home, here's my PayPal record for the order, which is $32 plus tax and any PayPal fees. I was also accused of making it sound like KD1MU is a capitalist pig for buying the radios at a discount and selling them at a higher price. Nothing could be further from the truth. When you put your name on a radio, you become responsible for it. You have to provide technical support, fix problems, and so on. That costs time and money. So when KD1MU puts its name on the radio, it takes on the responsibilities and expenses. My biggest problem with KD1MU at the time was that you had to buy the radio to get the programming software. But that was a limitation imposed upon him by iRadio. iRadio is at fault here, not KD1MU. So I have no problem with KD1MU charging $60 or $70 for the radio. In fact, it looks like those prices are lower than what Radtel charges for the same radio. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure what Radtel provides with the radio. Radtel did provide the programming software and firmware updates first, to their credit. But now you can get the programming software from KD1MU too. Do I think the radio is worth $60 or $70? No, but not because KD1MU or Radtel is doing anything wrong. It's just that I prefer the way the Baofeng 1801 and 1701 radios work, and I got them for a much lower price. I'll be reviewing those radios, among others, soon. Thank you for watching. You can help out the channel by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. 73s.